Good evening, friends, followers and channel members. Welcome to your Saturday night flight. Today from Nice up to Paris Orly. So a little bit of information for those of you that don't know. In the last 36 hours, I've actually completely basically nuked the PC. We deleted, scrapped everything on the hard drive. We did a fresh Windows install, fresh flight sim install. Everything is new. We were just getting crashed to desktops at the end of streams as we were loading into the airports, and I don't know if it was a streaming thing or whether some of the updates in the simulator had become a little bit corrupt. So kind of so far so good in some of the test flights I've done, but this is a little bit of a guinea pig flight this evening as we head up to Paris, and we know that Paris does really test the PC. I haven't yet quite managed to convince myself to go to Charles de Gaulle. We know Charles de Gaulle is even worse. We're off to Orly tonight, so of course lots of the Paris landmarks will be loaded in. That said, we're on live time, so it's obviously going dark. But yeah, hopefully this will work, and we will get there in one piece without too many things going wrong. So let's have a look. Okay, good evening, Vincent, Simon, Lucas, and Garlic Games. Hello to you too. Turgay, Gavin Walker, Leonard, good to see you. Adrian, Dark Fury, and Chumi, of course, and good evening. And you're quite right, you wouldn't really be going north south, particularly not at the moment, as there isn't actually that many aircraft flying at the moment. That's just for aircraft separation when it's really busy going into Milan. DJ Tricius, hello, and RPBC, thank you very much, sir, for your very kind donation so early on in the stream as well. I don't even think we got your baggage loaded in before you kindly donated that, so that's thank you very much. I appreciated that. So I think we do have air traffic control on tonight. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, we do. We've got Nice Tower, Nice ATIS. They're all around. We've also got Nice Approach. So should have ATC. Actually, at the moment, as it stands, there's quite a lot of France lit up with air traffic control, so this should be fun. So Jake, yeah, hopefully we'll get a crash to desktop on pushback. Let's hope not. And Turgay, as you say, Tuesday is going to be the next sim update. Oh, goodness knows what will happen after that. Leonard, good evening. Macro Simulations, good evening as well. Willie Side, good to see you. Vincent, has the stream quality been downgraded? That may just be as everything's been reset up. It may be one of the settings that I've forgotten to change within Streamlabs. So we shall see. Dark, have you just nuked your PC as well? Let me know how you get on. If anyone could do it correctly, Dark, it should be you. Apostle Games, good evening, and Brian, happy Saturday. Rather annoyingly, one of the things that I forgot to install on the PC is Navigraph charts. So I'm using the new tablet that I've got for that. So sadly, I can't show you those in game at the moment, but I will talk us through everything that's going to be happening as well, so you won't be too out of the loop there. For the operational flight plan being used today, let me just pop that into the YouTube chat for you if anyone wants to fly along or have a copy of that. That's now being shown just there. There we are. Right, well, Jetway's connected. I think most of the luggage has been boarded. I've seen the catering truck doing their business, so we've got alcohol for the flight. Captain 79, good evening. And FL, we shall try and have a nice Nice flight. Thank you. Right, so here we are. Let's get the tablet turned on, shall we? And get those dome lights for the batteries. 1 and 2. There we go. Lucas, are you now a fully fledged captain? Oh, thank you very much, sir. Contact me on Discord. We'll sort you out. Right. So let's come down here and get the information typed into the flypad. There we go. And whilst we're at it, get the external power on the road. Oh, try that again. There we go. Right, let's have a little look what's happening. So at the moment, 1013 here in Nice. Light winds, 17 degrees. That's quite nice. Scattered 1,600. Overcast 26,000 feet. And then in Orly, what can we expect? At the moment, the weather's good. Towering cumulus, and I think there's also a potential in the forecast for thunderstorms. So let's have a look, shall we? In fact, just before we do that, let's just do a little bit of cockpit setup. So external power's running. Let's oh, I'm wondering why that's not working. Let's actually connect the ground power. There we go. Crew and oxygen supply. Ground control. CRV test. There we go. And here it is. Get the nav lights on. All is good. Right, so whilst I'm waiting for the 3 clicks before we do the engine fire test, let's just scroll down and check out that weather potentially coming in. So where's that gone? A little bit further down. Ah, here we go. So Orly. So right, have a look at this. Currently, the time the flight plan was created, it was temporarily gusting up to 42 knots. Quiz question. Would we be allowed to land? And just for information, we're planned to land on runway 25. So would we be allowed to land? Quiz questions, yes or no, in the stream. Thunderstorms and rain. Visibility 2,000 meters, obviously cloud layers. We've then got a probability of 40 between 18 and 19. Well, actually, we're probably not going to be landing till after that. So that should be okay. After that, so hopefully they're basically going to subside, but we are going to get some gusts up to 25, 26. Looking at it, oh, actually, no, forget that. That's tomorrow. So it looks like the weather could be. Let's go with interesting, shall we? So in that case, what fuel are we going to take? Well, I think the planned block fuel is just under 6 tons. So I'm going to take 7. So we'll take 7 tons, and that should give us plenty to play around with. So let's go to fuel and have a look. There we go, 7 tons. Set that to real time. And there we go. So defueling is underway. Right, we've had the clicks. Let's get engine fire test number 1, number 2, and the APU. There we go. Okay, let's come down to the center instruments. What was the QNH here? It's 1013. Anti-skid is on. Come down to the pedestal, and we have got the tower online, which is 118.7. We'll tune to them in a little while. 118.7. That's fine. Leave it on Unicom for now. And guard frequency is on VHF 2. Check everything else is where it should be. Thrust levers at idle. Transponder is set in standby. Let's go up to the glare shield. Turn those up. Flight directors 1 and 2. QNH is 1013. Also turn up the brightness here as well. Okay, so instrument panel, that doesn't need to come all the way up, not at night time. And ECAM, upper ECAM, lower ECAM. Turn the first officer displays off. Refueling still underway, and air alignment in 5 minutes. Systems check. Everything is normal. Let's come down to the FM GS, set that up. So ATSU, AOC, and if we get a quick ATIS, do we have any ATIS online in Paris? So we can check that. Leave a Fox PO and pop that in there. Send that off, see if anything comes through whilst we set this up. So this now pulls in the information for the flight plan into the aircraft. There it is. 1 hour 14 minutes flight. Let's have a look at the payload for today. 166 passengers, payload of 17,264. That's correct. Zero fuel rate of 58.3. And let's also change the centre of gravity just to match that. Oh, 30.3, that will do. There we go. And load. Yep, good evening, sir. Hope you're well. And Combrig, good to see you as well. Matt Creamer as well, good to see you. Alright, so let's go to our data page. IRS is still being aligned. Aircraft status, we've got LEAP engines, A320 Neo, the fly-by-wire mod, out of date AirAx cycle at the moment. Can't do anything about that, sadly. Well, we could actually, if we use Navigraph data, we could, but I'm still using the default data. I'm sure that will get uploaded on Tuesday in the next sim update. Okay, uplink, init request. So the alternate tonight is Brussels, I think. Echo Bravo Bravo Romeo. And our flight number is Alpine 426 Uniform. Another real world flight this evening. There we go. Cost index of 8, of course, flight level 320 and minus 44. Tropopause is 40460. Let's change that. 40460. There we go. Alright then, so the flight plan. Runway 22, sorry, not 22, runway 04 is in use, so for departure it will be runway 04 right. There we go. And I'm expecting the Bado 6 Alpha departure. Bado 6 Alpha. Insert. And then arriving at Orly should be ILS runway 25. And the Ardol 9 Whiskey, which I believe is via, is it Malba? Quick check of that. Yeah, initial approach fix is it is Malba. So let's go ahead and add that in. Insert. Okay, so the flight plan says 372 miles, and I've got 408 miles on the actual flight plan, so we'll check that and see what that looks like as well. Charles, you live near Orly. The weather is becoming better now. Oh, good. Hopefully that will have cleared up then by the time we get there. Right, so flight plan is looking okay. Ideas is now aligned, so let's just see what that looks like on here. Flip through there. Yeah, actually, that matches up with the charts, so that all looks good to me. Right, time to start letting some passengers on board. I think we've held them off long enough. So let's start the flight and tell them they can begin boarding. Okay then, on the red nav, not sure if we'll need to pop anything in here. What we can do, we can pop the Nice NDB in, and in fact we can pop the Nice VOR in there, which is November India Zulu. There we go, 112.4. Init B page then. So zero fuel weight for today was, what was it, 58.3. 30.3. Zero fuel weight center of gravity. Trip wind is headwind of 24. We're taking 8 tons, and that says 4.9. Let's just check how we're doing with that refueling. Have we got that in? Did I say 8 tons? Or 7 tons? I can't remember now. 7 tons. 7 tons. So, there we go. And then the alternate is going to be 1.8 tons of fuel. And that gives us an extra flying time of 53 minutes. Well, given the weather that we've got in Orly at the moment, that's okay. Happy to take that. So the performance page then. Let's have a look at the charts for our transition altitude here in Nice. So transition altitude here at Nice is 5,000 feet. We'll get our climb from our initial climb out from ATC in a moment. Now the thrust reduction and acceleration is a little bit strange here. According to the charts, they want us to get up and away, being quiet up until 2,000 feet. So we're not going to start the acceleration until 2,000 feet. What's the aerodrome level here actually? So the airport level, it is quite low, near the sea of course, 12. So let's go with 2012. We've also got some hills we need to avoid as we depart. Let's change that as well, 2010, so the engine out acceleration matches up. Sadly with WADPRO still down, no flex temp calculator, so we'll just go with a toga takeoff. So let's have a look at the V speeds. 137, 133, 132. Now, do we have any speed restrictions on departure? No, we don't. Not on this particular SID. So the minimum safe altitude then, if we just bring up the, if I bring up the VFR map, it'll show you how we're going to fly the departure. So, ignoring that little left-hand bend there as we take off, that's not correct. We should obviously fly straight out, and then once we are above 420, we make that right-hand turn, and then this, in fact, I'm just double checking this. I'm not convinced that's the right SID. What SID should we have in here? We should have the Bedard 6 Charlie. What have we got in? That doesn't match the charts. Let's check that. Departing 04 right. Oh, I'll put the 6 Alpha in. That's right. Bedard 6 Charlie. Insert that. That's better. So now, as you can see, that's better. Straight out, right-hand turn, and then over the Nice VOR, which is what we can see. Okay, so, and then off to Bedard. There's our first. That's the end of the departure. So minimum safe altitude, obviously over the sea, is much lower than it is when we get over land. Minimum safe altitude is 3,000 feet here, and then very quickly it increases to 10,700 feet as we head straight out over the Alps. So, Chummy, have you got the 6 Alpha? Oh, well, if we have the 6 Alpha, we'll just go and book it back in differently. It's fine, it makes very little difference. But at the moment, always program what you've got in your operational flight plan, until told otherwise by air traffic control, of course. And we'll be doing that shortly. Okay, so, quick briefing. Weather here is fine. Aircraft is the fly-by-wire A320 Neo NX. Information on the aircraft: we know it final approach mode doesn't work with RMP arrivals. Shouldn't be a problem tonight. No NOTAMs are to be aware of for this flight. We're below the maximum landing weight as well, so if we had a problem we could come back here and land. Threats to be aware of: straight after takeoff there's a great big hill, mountain, whatever you want to call it, right at the end of the runway, so we need to make a right turn pretty sharpish once above 420 feet. And then maintaining a nice high angle of climb, and the acceleration will kick in at 2,000 feet once we're away from the airfield. If we did have a problem, so engine out on departure, something like that, we would continue our initial climb out and routing on the standard instant departure, then we just get vectors to come back in around and make a landing again on 04 left, not 04 right, but on 04 left. So that's it. All we need to do now is contact air traffic control and see what information they're going to give us. So I'm just going to check they're still online. 118.7. Yeah, still there. So we shall we can give them a call. Nice Tower, good evening. Alpine 426 uniform, stand 42, type A320 Neo, requesting IFR clearance to Paris Orly, and we have information whiskey.
Alpine 426 uniform, you clear to destination as 5104 right, via the Bedard 6 Alpha departure, initial flight level 130, squawk 1000.
Cleared via the Bedard 6 Alpha departure, runway 04 right and squawk 1000, initial climb flight level 130 for Alpine 426 uniform.
Alpine 426 uniform, read back right, super for you for pushing start.
Wilco 426 uniform. Right.
Alpine 32 Tango.
As I have recently just nuked the computer and reinstalled everything, I've just found that audio to be a little loud on the air traffic control side point of view, so I've just turned that down a little bit. Right, so let's get the squawk in there. There we go. Squawk 1000. Initial climb out is flight level 130, and let's just change that then to the Badod 6 Alpha. So 04 right. Badod 6 Alpha. Insert. Right, so we now do have a max speed restriction on this. Still no turns until passing 420 feet. It's a right hand turn. Max speed is 210 knots. So let's go to our performance and see. So our slowest speed clean is going to be 216 knots, which means we're going to have to fly in flaps 1 config for that. Once we get past S speed, we'll just pull the speed bug to 210 knots, and that'll be fine. And there's our new departure routing then, as you can see. Right, so all passengers are nearly on board. Refueling is completed. Start that APU. Get the fan, the fuel pumps on. It's certainly gone dark here, hasn't it, since we set up? How many passengers have we got left? 22. Danny Rebel, S speed is the lowest speed we can fly with flaps 1. So I'm just waiting for that APU to finish up, but we're more or less finished setting up now.
Once everyone's on board, we're happy for you to close the doors. Thanks. Oh, and once we get to cruising altitude, if I could have a cup of tea, that would be lovely. Thank you.
Boarding is still underway, but we're almost done. It shouldn't take much longer.
Right. We've got about 4 passengers to get on. I think all the luggage is loaded. Yeah, those guys are finished. And I can see the doors now down on the lower ECAM are getting closed. Jetway. Oh, the jetway's pushed back. All the passengers on board now. I hope so, otherwise they've got quite a long jump, haven't they?
Hello, Captain. Everyone is now on board and we're all set back here. Doors are closed and everyone is seated.
Thank you.
Alright, let's run the before start checklist. So, cockpit preparation is all complete. Let's just get those doors locked. Signs on and auto. Ideas, we've got 3.5 green. Fuel quantity 7 tons, check loaded and balanced. FMGS is set. Altimeter 1013 set and cross-checked. Let's get our pushback clearance.
Put the clearance for pushback and startup for Easyjet
Good evening, Steve, on Facebook. We're flying from Nice up to Paris Orly this evening.
Standby, traffic behind you, number 2, push me south.
After passing traffic, we will pushback and startup Easyjet.
Yeah, 854 negative 5 moment, all position, your number 2 for push and start and we will call you back.
Roger, number 2 for pushback and startup Easyjet.
Nice ground, Alpine 426 uniform. Stand 42 is ready for push and start.
Alpine 426 uniform, number 3 to push me south, I'll call you back.
Roger, 46 uniform.
Alpine 32 Tango, request taxi.
Alpine 32 Tango, taxi on point on radio 4 left, via Charlie, Charlie 1.
Taxi on point 04 left, via Charlie, Charlie 1, Alpine 32 Tango.
Air France 02, vous me recevez?
Air France 02, je reçois, je vous rappelle.
Ok, pas de problème.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of myself, the first officer, and the cabin crew, may I welcome you on board this Easyjet aircraft for your flight today. The ground crew and the fueling crew have all finished, and we're just about finished with all our cockpit preparation over here. The cabin crew are making their final checks as they work through the cabin, so if you could please get yourselves sat down comfortably with your seatbelts securely fastened and give them their full attention as they begin their safety briefing. A big welcome on board today to our Easyjetsimpilot members, who of course are welcome to free complimentary drinks throughout the flight. Once we reach our cruising altitude, our cabin service will commence and the cabin crew
Air France 02, est-ce que vous êtes prêts à effectuer votre déplacement?
merchandise throughout the duration of the flight.
Affirmatif, nous sommes prêts avec copilote.
Air France 02, définition approuvée, piste 04 droite, départ via Baudrue 6 Alpha, niveau initial 130, transfondeur 1000.
Un départ approuvé, départ Baudrue 6 Alpha, piste 04 droite, niveau initial 130, transpondeur 1000, Air France 02.
Air France 02, confirmé, départ via Baudrue 6 Alpha.
Un départ Baudrue 6 Alpha, Air France 02.
Air France 02, c'est correct, rappelez prêt pour numéro de repoussage.
On rappelle pour repousser Air France 02.
So, lots of aircraft in Nice tonight.
Air France 02, est-ce que notre niveau de croisière est bon?
So, Steve.
Air France 02, autant pour moi,
Yep,
il faut un niveau.
they're all other real players.
Donc on prend 2-2-0, c'est ça?
Il faut prendre 2-2-0, oui.
Parfait, bah ça a été modifié.
Alpine 32 Tango, cross on radio 4 left, taxi on point on radio 4 right, via Whiskey 3.
Cross runway 04 left, and taxi on point 04 right, Whiskey 3, Alpine 32 Tango.
Easy 854, push it south, approved, face south.
Push and startup approved, facing south, Easyjet.
Easy 38 Hotel Whisky, poste 48 Charlie, prêt pour la mise en route et reprise.
Blocked.
Easy 68 Hotel Yankee, numéro 2 pour la mise en route, je vous rappelle.
Numéro 2 pour la mise en route, attends votre appel. Easy 68 Hotel Whisky.
So, we're just listening for our takeoff clearance, I wish. Pushback clearance at the moment. A few aircraft around us. Only one way in, one way out, so just delayed for traffic at the moment.
Air France 24 7 radio check.
Air France 24, 57, donc les lignes en
en finale, piste 4 gauche.
Nick, good evening, sir. How are you? Not seen you for a while. Have you had to go back to work?
Air France 210 numéro 1, continue approche, piste 04 gauche.
On continue en approche, piste 4 gauche, Air France 210.
Let's have a quick look around us, shall we?
Air France 24, vous pouvez laisser votre message, j'avais découvert quand même une transmission.
Air France 24 57 Misto, bonsoir, on reçoit 5 sur 5.
Air France 24, c'est un approche 120 donc destination Lyon avec attention écho.
Air France 24 57, on rappelle. Air France 710 cross runway 04 left via Charlie 1, taxi on point runway 04 right via Whiskey 3.
So I think we've actually got two controllers controlling the ground at the moment.
Alpine 36 uniform, pushing center facing south, QNH 1013, accordingly off campaign traffic pushing back behind you.
Chris, good evening, sir. Hope you're well. Vincent, yeah, so real world traffic works with TCAS, but not VATSIM, not yet.
Air France 210, wind 110 degrees, 5 knots, runway 04 left, clear to land. Air France 210, vent 70 degrees, 5 nœuds, piste 04 gauche, autorisé d'atterrissage.
Roberto, hello from Florida.
Atterrissage Air France 210 pour la piste 4 gauche.
Alpine 3 Tangle, line up runway 04 right and wait.
Line up 04 right and wait. Alpine.
Wonder if Paris will be this busy when we get there.
Air France 24 57, mise en route pour Lyon, approuvé départ Baudru 6 Alpha de la piste 04 droite, initialement le niveau 130 et le transpondeur 1000.
Air France 24 53, départ, il a encore trouvé le départ Baudru 6 Alpha avec un niveau initial 130, 04 pour la piste et transpondeur 1000.
34 c'est correct. Rappelez prêt pour l'objet de mise en route.
Je rappelle prêt,
Is that GPU still connected? Looks like it, doesn't it?
Fox 114 mise en route pour Tunis, approuvé. Départ Zarek 6 Alpha de la piste 04 droite. Initialement le niveau 100 et le transpondeur 5604.
Thought we'd gotten rid of him.
Approuvé pour un départ Zarek 6 Alpha, le transpondeur 5604 pour la 04 droite, niveau de vol initial 100.
This would be a real pain if it crashed the desktop on the pushback, wouldn't it?
Rappelez prêt pour l'objet de mise en route.
On rappelle prêt mise en route Air France 14.
Air France 02, prêt au groupe 16.
Air France 02, vous êtes numéro 3 pour l'objet, je vous rappelle.
Just see an aircraft coming into land there. Tom, will I use VNAV once working? Oh, I'm sure I will, but it's certainly not a necessity.
Easyjet 54, repeating taxi.
Hi firm, Easyjet for Israel for taxi, just about to call you.
Perfect, Easyjet 54 taxi, only point runway 04 left via Charlie 21.
Holding point runway 04 left via Charlie 21, Easyjet 54.
Alpine 436, uniform pushing circle facing south, QNH 1013.
Clear to push and start facing south. QNH 1013 for Alpine 426 uniform.
VATSIM pilot.
Right, so I think we should be able to start pushing back. Well, we've been given the clearance, but I've still got company traffic behind me, which in the real world our tug driver would be obviously be watching. I'm still not. There we go. He's on his way.
04 right, clear takeoff.
Heaven 710 from Whiskey 3 line up runway 04 right and wait beyond and wait runway 04 right.
Oh, finally, we're on our way. Engine mode ignition and starting engine 1.
pour la porte 48 Charlie via Tango Air France 210.
Easy 68 Hotel Whiskey pushing status facing west, QNH 1013.
Pushing start proof, facing west, QNH 1013, Easy 68 Hotel Whiskey.
Easyjet24, cross runway 04 right via Charlie 1, then taxi on the correction, cross runway 04 left via Charlie 1, then taxi on the approach runway 04 right via Whiskey 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now ask for your attention while we take you through the
Cross runway 04 right, 04 left via Whiskey via Charlie 1, and then 04 right via Whiskey 3, Easyjet transfer.
and brace position that you must adopt if you hear
Airline 32 Tango, contact this approach 134.475, bye-bye.
or in the middle,
34475,
and two at the front of the cabin. Floor lighting will guide you to an exit. Please be aware that your nearest exit may be behind you. In an emergency, leave all cabin baggage on board. Your seatbelt is fastened, adjusted, and released as shown.
Dernière station à plan, s'il te plaît.
Fasten when the seatbelt signs are on, and we recommend that you keep it
France
fastened
02
at
pour
all
le
times.
groupe 16.
Air France 02, vous m'avez déjà appelé, je vous ai dit d'attendre, vous êtes numéro 2 pour le groupe 16, je vous rappellerai.
Pull a mask towards you to start the oxygen. Put the mask over your nose and mouth. Hold in place with the strap.
Air France 2457, mise en groupe 16, approuvé face à l'ouest, QNH 1013.
Before helping others. If you land on board, take the life jacket from under your seat. Put it over your head.
And starting engine 2.
Around your waist.
FM 710, wind 11 degrees 5 knots, runway 04 right, clear for takeoff.
Do not inflate it inside the aircraft. When outside, inflate by pulling the toggle. If it fails to inflate or needs topping up, blow into the tube. There is a light and whistle for attracting attention. We also carry flotation.
Nice approche d'Air France 210, pardon, Nice Tour. Est-ce que je peux avoir un guidage radar pour la porte, s'il vous plaît?
Air France 24, pas de soucis, alors un guidage radar pour la porte, ça va être un petit peu compliqué, mais je peux vous guider aussi.
So Janet, you read somewhere to start engine 2 first. Oh, that's a whole can of worms that we have on this channel. Just to keep things straightforward and simple, it's engine 1 first, engine 2 first.
Je prends la porte Alpha tout de suite à droite.
Certainly for Easyjet SOPs, that's because they do single engine taxis more often than not. If you're not doing a single engine taxi, it really doesn't matter. But for single engine taxi, you want number 1 first. Engine 2 stabilized.
Airplane 710, contact Nice approach, 134%,
And CFG is 32.3.
Easy 854, another wait, and radio flight.
F-start checklist, anti-ice is off. Ecam status checked. Pitch trims 32.3 and rudder trim 0. Flight control check. Full left. Full right. Full up. Full down. And rudder. Full right. Rudder. Full left. Okay. Let's get our taxi clearance. Nice ground Alpine 426 uniform is ready for taxi.
Alpine 36 uniform, taxi on point runway 04 left, via Charlie 1.
Hold your point 04 left via Charlie and Charlie 1 for Alpine 426 uniform.
Easy 854, wind 110, 5 knots, runway 04 right, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 04 right, 854.
Easy 38, Hotel Whiskey, traversée piste 04 gauche, traversée piste pointante 04 droite, via Whiskey 3.
On traverse la 04 gauche et on vous rappelle Whiskey 3, distance totale.
Air France 314, je sais pas si vous avez reçu, on est prêt.
Okay, I'm getting a small bug at the moment. No, I'm not getting a small bug at all. Ignore that. I've still got the tug driver attached. I'm trying to run him over. Get rid of the tug. Sorry, Mr. Tug Driver. Wondered why we couldn't move. I'd not... I thought I'd hit the button to get rid of the tug, and clearly I had not. Let's just wait till he's out of the way, shall we? There we go.
France 2456, rejoint un piste de 4 gauche via Delta, uniforme, Charlie Unité.
So Danny, this stream tonight is 7:20. I don't know if you hear right at the start of this stream. I said I've actually nuked the PC and I've just forgotten to change one of the settings, so it'll be back for the next one.
Easyjet 25, contact this approach 134.475.
This approach is 134.475, Easyjet 54.
So we need to hold short of 04 left. I'm sure then we'll get clearance to cross. Unless we've got arriving traffic, of course.
Alpine 36 uniform, cross runway 04 left, taxi 1.1 runway 04 right, yeah, whiskey please.
Clear to cross 04 left, taxi hold point 04 right via whiskey and whiskey 3 for Alpine 46 uniform.
Easy 68 tel whisky, on arrive à whisky 3 et on est prêt pour un départ immédiat si ça vous convient.
Easy 68 tel whisky, vent 110 degrés 5 nœuds, piste 04 droite, autorisé au décollage.
Autorisé décollage, 04 droite, Easy 68 tel whisky.
Okay, so quick departure briefing again. No change to the performance. Engine out procedure will continue with our departure, and then we will make a right-hand turn over the sea, back to come here and land runway 04 left. Departure matches what we got in the FMGC. Stop altitude flight level 130. We've got 130 blue confirmed. We'll have the terrain radar as well, given the terrain at the end of the runway, which we wish to avoid. Before takeoff checklist, flight controls checked, departure briefing confirmed, flaps setting is config 1, FMA takeoff data 132 blue, 137 magenta, climb nav blue, 13,000 blue, 1 FD2, and it's a toga takeoff. The speed limit for taxi is 30 knots in a straight line, and just check where we're going here, right to the end of the taxiway. And departure frequency 13447.
France 02, prêt au roulage.
No turns below 420 feet.
Passe avec l'approche 134 475. Bonne soirée Aitan et un coucou au mentor, à la prochaine.
Alpine 46 uniform, runway 04 right, and wait.
Line up and wait, runway 04 right for Alpine 426 uniform.
Air France 02, roulez pour un temps de piste 04 gauche via Charlie, Charlie unité.
On roule à 04 gauche via Charlie, Charlie unité, Air France 02.
Air France 114, traversée piste 04 gauche pour un temps de piste Whisky 3.
On traverse la 04 gauche et on passe par Whisky et point d'attente Whisky 3, Air France 114.
So I'm presuming we're waiting just for a bit of separation clearance from the aircraft that has just departed.
Alpine 46 uniform, wind 110, sorry no, runway 04 right, clear for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 04 right, Alpine 426 uniform. Before takeoff checklist, below the line. Cabin secured for takeoff. Engine mode select norm, TCAS TARA, packs off, anti-ice off. Auto brake, ECAM memo, takeoff, no blue. Takeoff, start the chrono, and set 50% N1. And set takeoff thrust, Mantoga, SRS. Oh, there's that bump. Not sure that's modelled correctly. V1, rotate. Ignore the flight director just for a moment. Now we can follow the flight directions. So in nav, and set climb thrust. 134475 Alpine 46 uniform. Thank you, bye bye. Autopilot 1 engaged, PAX 1, PAX 2, climb, needs to approach Alpine 426 uniform, passing 2,500 feet on the 6 Alpha departure.
Alpine 426 uniform, please identified, command cell level 170.
170 for Alpine 426 uniform. Turgate, you're quite right, there should be 10 seconds between the two. However, it's not quite easy to do as a single pilot. That's where your pilot monitoring would be there to do that for you while I concentrate on the flying and also be in contact with air traffic control. So just for simulator, we do that quickly. So we've now passed S speed. We're actually going to get through this turn, so we don't need to worry about that speed restriction. Flaps 0, ground spoilers disarmed, and set standard pressure 170 blue. There's all the traffic still in Nice. I just want to turn down the brightness of the terrain radar at the moment.
426 uniform, proceed to Ramiro.
Proceed direct to Miro for Alpine 426 uniform. Okay, let's release the cabin crew.
Ladies and gentlemen, please keep your seatbelt fastened while the seatbelt sign is on. We recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened
Manic Miner, so standard pressure is set whenever you're climbing to a altitude above the transition level. So transition level here was, sorry, I'm listening to air traffic control as well. Transition level here is 5,000 feet, and our initial clearance was to an altitude above that, so really straight after departure we could pull that to standard pressure. So just past 10,000 feet. Looks like we're good to go to our planned cruise level this evening of flight level 320 when instructed. Clear the RadNav page out.
Easy 426 uniform, correction Alpine 426 uniform, set a climb 1 Unicom 122.8, goodbye.
Just say again please for Alpine 426 uniform.
Alpine 426 uniform, further climb on Unicom 122.8, goodbye.
Thanks very much for the service this evening. Over to Unicom now, Alpine 426 uniform. Bye bye.
Bye. Fox Golf Papa Romeo Tango, vous quittez l'espace de zone de Nice, veuillez Unicom 122.8 pour l'auto-information, au revoir. Je passe sur 122.8.
So we're now clear to climb ourselves up to flight level 320, and then if anyone did ask questions before, then I did miss whilst we were on the ground, etc., then happy to answer those now. So set flight level 320, 320 blue, and off we go out over the Alps. So things to be aware of then, we can actually have a look down here, the operational flight plan. So minimum off-route altitude, oh there's turbulence. Minimum off-route altitude you can see is, so we're headed to Amiro, which is fine, but after that oh I don't like the turbulence, I can feel that bouncing around, but after that the minimum off-route altitude is above 10,000 feet, which means until about 23 minutes into the flight, which means that if we had a sudden rapid decompression we would need an escape plan. We'd need to know where to go, because we couldn't descend below 10,000 feet, as there's some mountains below us that we don't want to crash into. So this is where having the charts handy comes in. Nick, yeah, I did say at the start this is a fresh install, not just a fresh install of the sim, but a fresh install of Windows. It's like a brand new PC. From double clicking the icon on my desktop for Microsoft Flight Simulator, I'm at the page, the main page, ready to load the map, ready to load the departure in Flight Sim within less than 3 minutes. I think that's amazing. It didn't used to be that quick. Right, we're going to leave those seatbelt signs on just a little longer. Shipwreck, no, there's no camera shake mod. This is all default. All default. So passing flight level 200. And we're now just watching basically to see if the aircraft behaves itself. Manic Miner, there's nothing like a fresh Windows install. Yeah, well, you know, the actual PC itself is less than a year old. In fact, it might be coming up to a year old. I got it when Microsoft Nazobo released the specs for the new sim. I was holding off buying one until we'd got the specs sorted, so whenever they were, I think I got one about a month later. Can you hear the self-loading cargo passengers in the back just wetting themselves? Jayhawk, the day I fill up a terabyte of data on flight sim stuff, that I think I need to do some deleting. Situmeng, good evening from Indonesia. Indonesia, goodness me, what time is it over there, my friend? Must be the middle of the night for you. So guys, whilst we're in the cruise, if you could do me a huge favour and just hit that like button for me on the stream. It really, really does help, more than you realise, with our YouTube rankings. Now, did we actually get any ATIS from Orly? Oh no, there isn't any. Ah, that's okay. That's alright. Oh, Chumi, I definitely didn't install Windows 10 in 10 minutes. I think it took a good hour or so. Okay, you've got 100 knot tailwind with huge turbulence. Yeah, well, I've got I've pretty much got the same. What we got? 94 knots at the moment. Rocky on Facebook, thank you very much for the like there. That's much appreciated. And we're at flight level 270. I think we're going to get this. I think we're going to get this turbulence for a while now, aren't we? Bradley, I should have 1 million subscribers. I think we would need everybody that owned a copy of Microsoft Flight Simulator to subscribe to make that happen. Definitely going to keep those seatbelts on though. And there we can just see in the night time light the snow-capped Alps. Wayne, the rudder pedal brake bug is if you're on the ground and you select max auto brake, which you should before departing, then that should stay on regardless of whether you use the brakes with the rudder pedals, you know, while taxiing to slow you down. But it doesn't at the moment, it knocks it off, so you just need to remember to pop that back on before departing. That's why I delayed the Ecam Memo No Blue part of my checklist this evening, because I knew I would do an Ecam Memo No Blue, but the moment I pressed the brake pedal, the auto brake would be knocked off. Bart on Facebook, thank you very much. Good lord, even I'm feeling sick looking out of that window. Let's get back in the flight deck. It seems a lot sturdier up there. Right, so trying to reach Mach 0.86 turbulence penetration speed, but with that headwind might struggle a little bit. just have a quick look and see down here if I can actually scroll this through. Okay, so what have we got? That's our departure, there's the winds, so same altitude all the way there. Elite for the BBC, you could never get it to dock. Oh, we all remember those days. Right, so what have we got here? Yeah, there you go. There's your extreme turbulence. I think it might be like this for the whole flight. What do we reckon, guys? Should we still risk the hot drinks and alcohol? Right, Mac Alt Cruise. We're now at our cruising altitude.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck once again, just to let you know, we've reached our cruising altitude for today, and we are not anticipating any major delays or bad weather ahead, so we should be arriving on time as planned. The cabin crew will now start to make their way around the aircraft, so please make sure that the aisles are clear of any items you may have, and I invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. A reminder that our Easyjetsimpilot members are able to take advantage of free drinks throughout the duration of the flight. Thank you, and we shall have an update for you shortly.
So J-Hog, you'd like a dark fruit. Should we leave that in the can? You've got less chance of spilling it. Tom on Facebook. Oh, you're very welcome. I'm glad you've the channel's helped you learn lots of things. This turbulence may just drop off once we get over the Alps. We usually get a little bit of that as we are over the Alps. Alp turbulence. So what have we used? We've used about 12 tons of fuel, 12 tons, 1.2 tons of fuel, 1200 tons of fuel. That looks good, that matches up more or less. In fact, that does match up. We've used about 1300 tons of fuel, 1300 kilograms of fuel. Ugh. Get my decimal points right. But yeah, that matches up, no fuel leak. Bleed air is all fine. Cabin pressure's good, electric page running as it should. There's our confirmation of fuel used. APU is off. Cabin temperature 24. Doors and everything still armed. Brakes 40 degrees. Flight computers all working. Systems normal. So let's go to our McDo, have a quick look at a weather request. We'll put Brussels in there as well. Send that off. Beside not the Pyrenees in Spain. Company message, that came through rather quickly. There we go. So what have we got at the moment in Paris? Oh, the winds are still quite light, that's okay. And ceiling and visibility is alright, so good. We had... there was some towering cumulus with the risk of thunderstorms. They seem to have dissipated quite nicely. And yeah, Brussels is fine as well, but I don't think we're gonna have to go there. Any regulations for the cockpit lights, pilot, etc.? There's no regulations, but what pilots will normally do for nighttime landings in particular is they'll get the floodlights off, they'll get the backlights off, they'll just keep the integral lights on, and they'll basically land like this, so that the eyes are obviously adjusted for nighttime. You don't want to be landing with the dome lights on. Obviously now we're at cruise, we can put the dome lights on just to see what we're doing. If we were reading charts, things like that. So whilst we're still in all this turbulence, we're going to leave it set at Mach 7.6. Tommy, the model matching for VATSIM. I don't know if there's a file actually on our Discord server. Nick, did you share a file that you used? I basically used one similar to you, Nick, but I edited it right down, so I got rid of all the basically all the liveries that I don't have, just because I got fed up with VPilot giving me beep after beep after beep, telling me it couldn't find the particular model that it was after. I don't, because I don't have 300 odd liveries in my community folder. Julian! was that you? I thought I'd heard that. Oh, thanks very much. I hope you got as much turbulence as I had on this route. You're off to St. Germain. Oh, we're off to Orly. I daren't risk St. Germain. The PC may explode. Oh, crikey Moses. I was very close to taking autopilot off just there. Well, this may be a bit excessive. Hand on the side stick, just in case. Oh, those sick bags are going to be full tonight. I think those seatbelts are going to be remaining on for much longer just yet. 120 knot headwind. Andrew, just a teeny bit turbulent. Yeah, nothing to worry about, nothing to see here. Nick, I think lots of people would enjoy that. Yeah, if that's possible at all. Simon, can you stop the model matching beeping? It drives you crazy. If you can, I've not discovered how to just yet. Yeah, Simon, all the alcoholic beverages, the drinks carts just slid right to the back of the galley and smashed on the floor. That's those out of action. This may be the most turbulent flight we've had on the channel. Anyway, where are we? We've just passed, where's that? Nedru. So let's do a quick fuel check at Nedru. Is 5480. And what did we have on board? We had we had 7 tons on board, didn't we? So let's just do a quick fuel check, make sure everything is working as it should. Oh lord, this is going to be fun trying to control this with the turbulence. Okay, Nedru. 3859. Let's see. And what did we take extra? We took 1.3 tons of fuel extra. And we've actually got 1.6 tons of fuel extra, so we've burnt 300 kilograms less in the 300 kilograms less in the climb out, which is fine, absolutely fine. And as that, we're actually only at Mach 0.76, which may account for a little bit of that. What should we be at? Yeah, we were expecting Mach 7.8, but given the turbulence, we're at 7.6, and with that headwind as well. Although it does seem to have calmed down a little bit just now. Julian, what was that bump on 4 right? Oh yeah. Well, that bear's been there since the the World Update number 4, I think. But the French employees of the airport are all on strike, so they won't go and clear it up. Could it be that things have settled down? I think now we are on our way. The Alps are more or less behind us a little bit. I'm going to zoom in on there. They should update a bit in a minute. That's obviously not in the right place. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so the Alps sort of drop off around here, don't they? Saint-Étienne, and that sort of place. So that turbulence should be, looks like it's out of the way now. Oh, let's risk it for a biscuit.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has now turned off the seatbelt sign and you are now free to move around the cabin.
If you dare.
In just a few moments, we'll commence our in-flight service, offering you the chance to purchase a selection of hot beverages, together with drinks and snacks from the bar. We accept payment in pounds, euros, most major currencies, and debit or credit cards. The correct change would be greatly appreciated, and if we can be of any further assistance, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
Sarcotech, could you explain to me when you need to put the flaps during the approach, because you think you put them down too early, so the approach is very long. Right, okay, so the golden rule that I stick to is that you want flaps 2 before capturing the glide slope. So as soon as you start seeing the glide slope coming down, you want to get flaps 2 out before intercepting that. And obviously you need flaps 1 prior to that. Every approach is different, so you need to have flaps 1 at a decent enough time before that. Remember, of course, just because you've got the flaps down, if you're in managed mode with the speed, the aircraft is automatically going to slow it down. So the moment you enter approach phase, you will go to and target green dot, which could be around 210 knots, for example. The moment you put flaps 1 down, it'll target S speed, which could be 160 knots, something like that. But remember, just because you've got flaps 1 down doesn't mean you have to go at at S speed, the flaps 1 speed. You can pull the speed bug and set 180 knots, for example. And you've also got, as a little guide, if you can't remember them, you've got your flap extension speeds here. So once you're below 230 knots, that's when you can pull flaps 1. When you are below 200 knots, that's when you can go flaps 2, flaps 3, 1. So you can actually get, if you really wanted to, you could still be flying 180 knots with flaps 3 out. I mean, you wouldn't, because you'd be burning a lot of fuel and the airline wouldn't like you. But yeah, if you find yourself too slow, then just wind your speed up wind your speed up. That's fine. Giant, how to switch back again to the current lower ECAM display after something else. Right, okay, so the one that I've got showing, if I decide to select something else, like if I want to check the bleed air, for example, all you need to do to get back to it is click it again, turn it off. So think of them as push buttons, on, off. Yeah, welcome to the Easyjet 0G experience. Hey, I bet if they could, that'd make money, wouldn't it? So Leo Ferdinand, what happened to the performance calculator? Yeah, sadly, that seems to have gone, doesn't it? I don't know if he's not paid his server bill or what, but who knows? That's annoying. Right, how far are we away from Malba? Alright, so let's have a quick talk through our approach. So, current weather is 240 at 7, and we're going to be landing on runway 25. The approach is the Ardal 9 Whiskey, and that obviously begins at the other waypoint Ardal, of which we need to be at flight level 100 at the waypoint Malba. If we have a quick look at the VFR map, oh, where have you gone? There we go. So let's keep going. So there's Ardal, the start of our approach, and Malba. There we go. We need to be flight level 100 at Malba. From there, we come in via the Mike Lima November VOR and follow this, follow the route around, capture the ILS just here to come and land in on runway 25 right. So the ILS approach frequency is 111.75. Transition altitude is 5,000 feet for Paris Orly. Platform altitude for this approach is 3,000 feet. Minimum safe altitude around the airport is 3,200 feet. And our decision altitude should be a Cat 1 approach, runway visual range of 550 meters is going to be 487. Elevation of the runway is 287, so 200 feet difference there. That's fine. We have a missed approach routing. So what happens with the missed approach? We climb straight ahead, and then at 700 feet, a left turn at 185 knots. So once we've done our performance calculations for the arrival, we'll probably be flying that, I guess, at flaps 1, but we'll check that in a moment. And then we need to climb up to 2,000 feet. So missed approach altitude is 2,000 feet. Ah, it's Eurovision tonight, isn't it? Damn, and I forgot. Never mind. Okay, let's get the latest weather. Leo, no, I'm afraid I don't know when they're going to release their calculator. I guess once it's all coded in. It's not the easiest thing to sort, I'm afraid. Okay, company message. That'll be our weather request coming through. And we'll print that one off. I'll make it easy just to pop into the performance page. So guys, if you haven't already, please do hit that like button for me. It really does help with the YouTube rankings. I would really appreciate that if at all possible. X-Man, can I change the brightness of the fly pad? Probably can if you go to the settings, but the brightness is already turned fully up for me, so there we go. Tune me the winds 240 at 7, so runway 25 is absolutely fine. Runway 25 has been used in the real world, so it's definitely fine. Let's have a look then. So the QNH is 1012. Temperature in Paris this evening, 10 degrees. Thank you, Paul, and thank you, John Roberts, for liking the Facebook stream a moment ago. The wind 2407. Transition altitude, as we said, 5,000 feet. And decision altitude is 487. And there we go. Right, so the max speed for the missed approach is 185 knots. Slow speed we can fly flaps 1 is going to be 187. Right, so in that case, we could do flaps 3, flaps 2, but not retracting back to flaps 1. So we just need to be aware of that. So we'd be flaps full, go around flaps to flaps 3, and we can hold that to make that turn at 185 knots. Actually, can we? Oh, we'll go flaps 2. Flaps 2 for the go around if we had to. I had to think then. I was sure 185 knots was right on the limit for flaps 3, and it is. So it'll be a flaps 2 if we did a go around. So when should we start the descent then? 140 miles away at the moment. And what are we? We're at flight level 320. So we got 22,000 miles to lose. With that headwind as well, we can look to start that at around, probably about 70 miles away from Malba. So I hope you guys have had a good Saturday so far. We should be back tomorrow night for another stream as well. So that should be good. Look forward to seeing you for that one. And then of course on Monday, long haul mileage Monday. And this is a real world flight as well, guys. So I like doing real world flights. We've done quite a few of them recently. So that's quite neat. Alright, let's talk about after landing then. So once we have landed, so landing runway 25, we shall vacate. What are we doing? We're going to be vacating right on to Whiskey 34, I believe it will be. Whiskey 35 if we miss it. There's a potential for Whiskey 4. Basically, we vacate right after crossing runway 02. And then from there, we'll taxi to the south parking stands. Orly 3 or Orly 4. Job done. Dark, where am I going Monday? No idea. Someone else asked me that earlier today. I'm like, did you really think I planned that far ahead?
In just a few moments, we'll commence our in-flight service, offering you the chance to purchase from a selection of fresh food available today. Full details can be found in your in-flight ticket. We accept payment in pounds, euros, most major currencies, and debit or credit cards. The correct change would be greatly appreciated. And if we could be of any further assistance, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
So that Ardell 9 whiskey then, let's check a couple of things. Let's see, shall we? Right, so the coding of the flight plan. Check it matches. So from Ardell should be 306, then Chubby, then Oryx. Maximum 280 knots there at Oryx. Ah! Air traffic control! Goodness me! 128.1.
Air France 454, Echo 26, prêt pour le push. Air France 454, je vous rappelle, Air France 54 Mike, cross runway 26 right, then taxi gate of your choice. The 854, clear Moba 6 whiskey approach, expect vectors LS 25.
Moba 6 whiskey approach, expect ILS from 25, easy 854.
Paris approach, good evening. Alpine 426, uniform, flight level 320, overhead Ardell.
Alpine 426, uniform, Paris, bonsoir, identified.
Speedbird 66 Golf Alpha requesting descent.
Speedbird 66 Golf Alpha, descent flight level 260.
Flight level 260, Speedbird 66 Golf Alpha.
La France 1 de Romeo Juliette, rappelez prêt pour la descente.
So we know we want to start that descent around about 70 miles from Malba. If we get a descent earlier than that, that's fine. If we get a descent later than that, we know we're going to have to really control that rate of descent to get down in time. Let's just check the RadNav page, make sure we've got the correct ILS frequency, 1175. That's in.
November, Paris, bonsoir. Souhaitement Charlie, please.
Roger, no Charlie.
Speedbird 66 Golf Alpha, for further descent, Unicom 122 decimal 8, bye-bye.
Speedbird 66 Golf Alpha is over to Unicom. Thanks for your help.
We also need the. We also need 112.15, the point VOR on there for this approach. As the VOR and DME is required. So this air traffic control is going to be quite busy. He's obviously controlling Orly and Charles de Gaulle as well.
Putting A320 November identified. Continue climb flight level 370, direct to Sopil.
Was it climb 370, direct to Sopil, Boeing November?
So I'm just going to continue now checking that star. Chubby, Oryx, Palma and Malba. From Malba we'll then go to Melon, and then we would be vectored in.
Can you confirm direct waypoint to Sora?
Direct to Sopil, Sierra Oscar Papa India Lima.
Roger, direct to Sopil,
FedEx 1215, call back for further descent.
So about 20 miles or so, it'd be nice if we get that descent clearance.
FedEx 12 Alpha, I will call you back for further descent.
Or as this is the last flight of the day, of course, that coffee cup has probably got some horrible dregs left in it. So we've got the weight and landing information. Flight manager guidance computer is coded in. Landing elevation is confirmed. Auto brake not required for this runway. And we've done our arrival brief.
Ready for lower,
Terrain not required. And we've got the QNH on standby.
Hello, Easy 13 Kilo, Golf 2, Payload 370.
Easy 13 Kilo, Golf, Paris, bonsoir, squawk 1000. Air France 458, roulez point d'attente piste 26 droite via Romeo Tango 6.
So I am just listening out at the moment for air traffic control to start us on our way down. Any moment now. Of course we can request it.
Derrière le 777 au taxi, on repousse face à l'est, Air France 454.
FedEx 12 Alpha, descent altitude 5,000 feet, QNH 1012.
And we can request that, can't we? Make sure we're level by at Malba. We also want to be a maximum speed of... we're going to max speed at Malba? Ah, apparently 230 knots. And at a Boma we want to be a max speed of 250 knots, so yeah, we probably need to start our way down. At Paris Centre, Alpine 426 uniform, request descent.
Alpine 426 uniform descent, flight level 110 to be level by a Boma.
110 to be level by a Boma for Alpine 426 uniform.
Alpine 710, clear Molba 6 approach, expect vector ILS 25.
Please Molba 660, expect vector ILS 25. That's not the number 0.
Easy 854 descent, flight level 70.
To our destination, at which point the cabin crew will start preparing for our arrival. If you could please make sure that all the irons
Thrust idle over descent, 110 blue.
make their way around the aircraft without taking luggage in. The aisles can
At 59 Sierra Charlie, descent, flight level 30.
for our Easyjetsimpilot members, and free drinks are still available from the cabin crew until the seatbelt signs are turned on. Please note, however, that the toilets will shortly go out of use. Thank you.
Okay, on our way down. So I've just changed the bearing distance to a Boma, 60 miles away, which is fine. We've got 20,000 feet to lose, so that's spot on. Maximus, we are... Oh, we should be on the ground in... half an hour or so. Just started the descent. Bradley, currently streaming in 720 and not 1080p. purely because I've done a fresh reinstall of Windows and all the software, and I'd forgot to change it. Is the honest answer. So I'll get that sorted for the next stream.
Air France 58 Delta Québec, direct Reims, Romeo Echo Mike.
Julian, you don't have the tablet because you don't have the developer version of the FlyByWire mod. Check out the FlyByWire Simulations website, download the developer version, and you'll have it.
On est prêt pour la descente pour 22 Romeo.
Air France 22 Romeo Juliet, sur le sud, descend niveau 230, stable Moulin.
Niveau 230, stable sur Moulin, Air France 22 Romeo.
Air France 454 pour le taxi.
Air France 454, roulez point d'attente piste 26 droite via Romeo Tango 10.
26 droite, Romeo Tango 10, Air France.
So we're now monitoring that rate of descent. What are we at?
We didn't hear the call from Brussels. Lufthansa 6 question, Lufthansa 462 Paris Orly identified.
So we're still just on profile looking at that. Julian, you need to go to the FlyByWire Sim website. Quick Google FlyByWire A320 and download their installer, and you'll be able to update it automatically. Has the stable version now got the tablet? Ah, nice.
Altitude 4,000 feet, QNH 1012.
And 4,000 feet, QNH 1012.
I haven't flown the stable version for a long time.
Good evening, Paris Contorious, Condor 9 Charlie Alpha.
Condor 9 Charlie Alpha, Paris, bonsoir, identified.
So we've got some speed restrictions coming up pretty soon. So in order to meet that altitude, we'll just check if we've got any speed restrictions this evening. Paris Centre Alpine 426 uniform. Any speed restrictions for us tonight?
Alpine 426 uniform, free speed.
Thank you very much for Alpine 426 uniform.
Air France 710, descent flight level 70.
Descent flight level 70, Air France 710.
Aviation Forever, you think the stable version is better for graphics? Oh, the graphics are exactly the same, as far as I'm aware. If you mean frame rates, then possibly so, because the developer version's got a lot more going on under the bonnet, so to speak. Nicholas, we're off to Orly this evening. Peter James, good evening.
59 Sierra Charlie, turn left, heading 170 degrees.
Left 170 degrees, and please confirm runway 26.
Bradley, no, it's not your eyesight.
And 59 Sierra Charlie, I give you 27 right, do you want 26 left?
Yeah, we are requesting step in, sir.
And 59 Sierra Charlie, Roger, so descent altitude 4 disregard. FedEx 112 Saturn right heading 250 degrees, clear LS approach runway 27 right, report established.
So we're nicely on profile still.
Speed 1 Malaysia, fine 32 Tango.
Peter, is that you that sort of crashed the desktops, or are you just baiting me to see what happens when we land? Let's find out, shall we?
Enter 59 Sierra Charlie, turn right heading 230 degrees.
Right 230 degrees, enter 59 Sierra Charlie.
Alpine 32 Tango, stop, descent flight level 70.
Stop, send level 70, fine.
Enter 59 Sierra Charlie, descent altitude 4,000 feet.
190 and 29 miles to go. That's good.
260 degrees 5 nœuds, piste 26 droite, autorisé décollage.
And Simon, thank you very much for your €2 donation there, Simon. Long time supporter of the channel. You really are generous, Simon. Thank you very, very much. Great to have you on board with us once again this evening. Sorry we smashed all your alcohol up back there over the Alps. But thank you, really do appreciate that. Oh, Peter, you've sorted out yours. Fantastic. How'd you manage to do that? Julian, the easiest thing to do is Google FlyByWire A320 Microsoft Flight Simulator, visit their website, download the installer program, and the installer program will install it all for you.
Easy 854, turn left heading 300 degrees, clear LS approach runway 25, report established.
Ah, Wayne, I'm actually still in the simulator. I'm still at 1080. It's just the stream that's not.
Alpine 32 Tango, reduce speed 160 knots.
160 Alpine, 160.
Emperor 59 Sierra Charlie, maintain speed 180 knots.
So just put the threshold there of runway 25 at Orly, which is where we're landing, and we're 60 miles away. So nice and low.
Runway 27 right, clear to land. Alpine 32 Tango, turn right heading 310 degrees, clear LS approach runway 26 left, report established.
Right heading 310, clear LS 26 left, we'll call Alpine 32 Tango.
Air France 458, identifié radar, poursuivez la montée niveau 3, unité 0.
Welsh Controller, good evening, sir. I am, thank you. Hope you are as well.
Air France, correction, Easy 854, wind 230 degrees, 7 knots, runway 25, clear to land. Alpine 426 uniform, clear Molba, 6 Whiskey approach, expect vectors LS 25.
So we're now
454, correction, Air France 454, 262.
10 miles from Aboma, which is fine, and 1,000 feet to go. Julian, thank you very much, sir, for your very kind donation. Thank you so much for your help, but you think you needed to throw because it's not... Okay, so... Julian, get yourself on our Discord channel if you can. If someone could just call the Nightbot to give the Discord link. And Julian, we'll talk you through it. I will. We'll help you out. I guarantee. We'll get you flying the Fly-by-Wire mod, and you will love it. Okay, speed Alt Star.
Oui, on vous a appelé, on passe le 180, Roméo Juliette.
Pro en France 22 Roméo Juliette, contactez Lyon approche 125 décimal 450, au revoir.
Avec l'approche, merci.
Thank you, Nick, for calling that up. So, Julian, we'll definitely get you sorted. If you can join our Discord, we will most certainly get you sorted and get you through that.
Paris Control, bonsoir, Alpha 145, climbing flat level 260, passing to...
In fact, Julian, I tell you what, once we've landed, remind me, and I think I may even be able to show you very quickly. So please do remind me, guys. It's something I can do very quickly once we've taxied to the gate and all the passengers are getting off. I'll see if we can do that for Julian. and thank him for his donation.
On est prêt, la descente Air France 58 Delta Québec.
Air France 58 Delta Québec, descendez niveau 250. Prévoyez une arrivée Cambrai 5 Alpha.
Cambrai 5 Alpha et on descend niveau 250 Air France Delta Québec.
Alpine 3 Tango established.
Alpine 3 to Tango.
So we're currently 46 miles away.
Runway 26 left, clear to land.
26 left, clear to land, Alpine 3 Tango.
Air France 454, identifié radar, poursuivez la montée niveau 290.
290 454.
Enter 500 Sierra Play, establish runway 6 left.
Enter 5 Manor Sierra Charlie, wind 260 degrees 5 knots, runway 27 right, correction 26 left, clear to land, number 1.
26 left, traffic, and consider 500 Sierra Charlie.
Alpine 3 Tango, how many miles is the aircraft ahead?
6 decimal 6 nautical miles.
Airplane mode until after we have landed. Please note that the aircraft toilets are now out of use. If you wish to become a Easyjet
Air France 710, turn left heading 210 degrees, clear LS approach, runway 25, report established.
Standard 210, clear direct 25, report established. Air France 710.
Alpine 426 uniform, clear Molba 6 whiskey approach, expect LS vector 25.
Malba 6 Whiskey approach for LS runway 25, Alpine 426 uniform.
Alpine 426 uniform, descend flight level 70.
Flight level 70 for Alpine 426 Whiskey. Okay, so I've just been given a different approach. 70 Alpine 426 uniform. Okay, so set flight level 70. Roll that speed back. Open descent thrust idle, flight level 70. And it's a different approach now. Do you know what? And Paris Control Alpine 426 uniform, confirm the Malba 7 Whiskey. Sorry, correction, 6 Whiskey for Alpine 426 uniform.
Correct.
We're not finding that.
Fox kilomètre, je reçois 5 sur 5. Felix 1215,
Okay, we'll ask for vectors.
Then, yeah, taxi stand up your choice.
Alpine 426 Whiskey, we cannot find the Malba 6 Whiskey approach for runway 25. Is it possible to get radar vectors?
Alpine 426 uniform, vectors considered the present heading.
Thank you very much, Alpine 426 uniform will maintain present heading and descending flight level 70, Alpine 426 uniform. Yeah, not quite sure what's happened to that, so we shall get our radar vectors in. We've got 10,000 feet, let's get the signs on. So, approach checklist. Approach minimums are set, electronic mode, engine mode select is normal, electronic flight bag is stowed.
Easy 854, welcome to Paris Orly, taxi stand up choice.
If you are travelling with an infant, please ensure that they are secured safely using the infant seatbelt provided. The toilets will now go out of use until the fasten seatbelt sign is turned on.
Just having a look at the charts now. See if I can actually get that approach up.
On descend niveau 150 Air France Delta Québec.
Enter 59
Malba 6 Whiskey, let's have a quick look. I can find the 9 Whiskey.
Charlie, welcome to Roissy, cross runway 26 right via Sierra 3, then taxi stand of the choice.
How strange.
Cross runway 2. Right. My Sierra 3 is at Omega. Thank you very much for control. Have a nice evening and...
Oh dear. That's my fault. We shouldn't have... we should have pulled heading bug.
Alpine 426 uniform, turn right heading 360 degrees.
360 Alpine 46 uniform.
Air France 710, wind 260 degrees, 5 knots, runway 25 clear.
Speed alt start. We're in heading mode. Flight level 70. .23 miles to run. Not track miles, of course. That's direct.
Salter 22 Bravo Tango. Dead.
Just confirm the approach for ticket, please.
I expect RMP runway 31.
RMP for...
So I could not find the 6 Whiskey approach on Navigraph either, which is very strange. So when air traffic control told me to maintain present heading, I should have pulled the heading bug, but I was preoccupied with trying to find that approach. Again, that's why having 2 pilots is good. One can reprogram the box, the other can concentrate on flying the aircraft. As it was, I tried to do both. I failed on both accounts because I still can't find that approach, the 6 Whiskey approach. I'm going to have a good look for that afterwards.
Salter 22 Bravo Tango, descent altitude 2000 feet, QNH 1009er.
Set 2000 feet, 1019er. Salt altitude Bravo Tango.
I can find the Melbourne 9 Whiskey. Yeah, I can't find any 6 Whiskey approach for runway 25.
Anton 426 uniform, descent altitude 3000 feet, QNH 1012.
Altitude 3000 feet, 1012, the QNH Alpine 426 uniform. Set altitude 3000, thrust idle, open descent, and let's start slowing down as well. So, activate the approach phase. Down we go.
Alpine 3 to Tango, welcome to Paris, cross runway 26 right via Sierra 3 Delta system.
Cross 55 Sierra 3 to Dynamite en VFR.
Au parking.
Je vous rappelle, j'ai beaucoup de monde, faut discuter au mic, donc ça risque un peu de prendre du temps.
Alpine 145, ready to descend.
Alpine 145, descend flight level 110.
Descending flight level 110, Alpine 145.
So there we go, we're 80 miles out.
Hotel Whisky, prêt pour la descente. 68 Hotel Whisky, descendez niveau 26, correction 240. Niveau 240, 68 Hotel Whisky. Easy 13 kilo golf, when ready descent, flight level 230.
Well, which is easy 13 kilo golf.
And easy 13 kilo golf, clear, Moulin 5 November, arrival.
5 November arrival, easy 13 kilo golf.
Landing lights on. So Brian, I didn't go manage speed straight away because I wanted to get that descent started.
Salter 22 Bravo Tango, proceed direct to ACV, clear RMP, runway 31, report established.
We're direct to ACV and we're cleared that empty approach from the 31 mile course, Salter 22 Bravo Tango.
Easy 223, are you ready to copy?
So expect a left turn any moment now.
Air France 58 Delta Québec, niveau 150.
Air France 58 Delta Québec, descendez niveau 70.
We've just gone through the localizer.
Cabin 426 uniform turn left heading 220 degrees, clear and approach runway 25, report established.
Left heading 220 and report established for runway 25 ILS, Alpine 46 uniform.
223, clear to your destination, runway 26 right, running 5, Bravo departure, initial flight level 100, square 1.7.
Magazines that you do not want to take with you. The toilets are no longer in service.
Oh, don't worry about seeing the constraints, Wayne. We don't follow those. Alright, if I do, I follow them on the charts. So, lock blue.
Paris contrôle, 68 Hotel Whisky, je quitte la fréquence 2 minutes. Ici 68 Hotel Whisky, vous pouvez poursuivre sur Unicorn.
And a nice steady descent. Gets down to 3,000 feet. If we can meet the glide slope, that'd be quite nice. I think we're going to be at 3,000 feet before then anyway.
Alpine 32 Tango, can I pass just a very quick message?
And lock star. Approach mode enabled. Alt glide slope blue. Flaps 1.
And Easyjetsimpilot, good evening from Julian.
And there's lock captured. Good evening, Julian. Hope you're well. Right, let's hope we can see these runway lights, shall we? I think they may just be off in the distance. So that's Alt Star, we're now holding 3,000 feet. Get the cabin crew sat down.
Cabin crew, please take your seats for landing.
Disconnected.
So we should intercept glide slope at about 9 miles. So there's the glide slope, just started to become active. So we're going to go hold our speed for now. Let's go flaps 2. Reduce that to 180 knots. Hoping these are the runway lights. A little bit of cloud cover in the way, but that's okay. What was our minimums? 487. I think I might even hear a little bit of rain smashing into the cabin as well. Alpine 426 uniform established runway 25 at 9 miles. Glide slope start.
He's offline now.
Oh, thank you. Cheers.
Cheers, goodbye.
Missed approach is 2,000 feet, so he's disappeared.
Everyone subscribe.
We're on his own.
Thank you, you too.
122.8, back over to Unicom. Right, let's enter manage mode for the speed. We'll start rolling that back. Runway is in sight. Red altimeter is alive. 6 miles. Let's get the gear down. Gears down. Spoilers armed. Let's get those lights on. Why have we got leave a climb showing? Okay, we've got a config problem here, haven't we? What's gone off there? Autopilot 1, disengaged. I'm not sure we're going to be able to continue this approach after that. Wasn't expecting that problem. $1,000 feet. Let's just continue. We're slowing down. That's okay. Let's get that cabin secured for landing. Flaps full. Approach checklist. Cabin secured for landing. Auto thrust is off. Why is auto thrust off? Right, okay, clearly some setting has been changed since I did the install, as we're not. Okay, I'm going to have to land this manually. This could be fun. So clearly there is some setting not quite right there. Can we still make this landing zone, or are we going to have to go around? Let's find out. We're very fast. We're very fast. I'm going around. So, man, toga, go around track, go around flaps. Okay, so go around is left hand turn. And let's get autopilot 1 engaged. Let's go back up to 3,000 feet. Autopilot 1 engaged. Right, so I've got a bit of a config setting with my thrust levers. Not sure what's happening there. Let's try this approach again. How very annoying. Not sure why we've got lever climb flashing. In order to see that, I'm going to have to turn those on. We're in the detent. There we go. We did reset the detents after the install, so not quite sure why that hasn't worked. Wayne, normally you shouldn't need to lift flaps all the way at once. You should just go up 1 degree to go around flaps, which would have been flaps 3, except the speed wasn't being controlled. So that made things much, much more difficult. So plenty of things were wrong with that, which I'll talk you through in a minute. Right, let's begin that approach again. Okay, so what should have happened with the go-around is you set toggle power, you go around flaps, which is 1 degree up. We were at full flaps at the time, so we went to flaps 3. The problem I had got is the speed wasn't being controlled by the auto thrust. It should have been. I'd obviously disconnected it. Which meant then that the speed was spooling up far too fast for the flaps that we had got set. So then I had to start bringing the other flaps up, otherwise we would have exceeded VFE, and yeah, there was just quite a lot to manage at that point. So not a great example of a go-around. The other thing then, I'd also got the speed set to 180 knots. I had cleaned up so I didn't exceed VFE. However, we were below green dot. You should never go below the green dot. We even talked about the go-around procedure. Of course, that was assuming that I wasn't going to have a complete config breakdown of my hardware, and that should have resulted. That should have resulted in the aircraft doing the go-around at flaps 2, maintaining a max speed of 185 knots on that left-hand turn. We may even do a video on that and show you exactly what should have happened. However, let's concentrate on getting this back down on the ground. Again, ATC has disappeared. We're on Unicom. So we'll try that approach again and try and work out why on earth they disconnected. So what are we now? 9 miles out. We'll try that again. Thank you, Nick. So we're just going to go open climb back up to 3,000 feet. Okay, let's start again then, shall we? So we're going to go into manage mode. We'll go flaps 1, left hand turn, trying to land manual speed is a rather perishable skill, certainly not one that I'm very good at. Continue that left-hand turn. And then we'll start the approach phase and go all through it again. Chewy mate, yeah, I know I want to go around. I know we need to activate the approach phase. At the moment, we were holding managed speed. I don't want to slow down yet, even though I've got flaps 1 out. Don't want to slow down too much. We're still 13 miles out. Right, lock blue. Let's see if the thrust lever manages to hold its detent this time. And we'll get the dome lights back off as well. Lock star. 12 miles out. Glide slope is alive, so flaps 2, speed check, flaps 2. So lock, Cat 3 dual, autopilot 1 and 2, 10 miles out. 180 knots set. Glide slope start. Missed approach altitude again, just in case. How many times should we go around? Okay, 8 miles out. Let's start slowing down. Glide slope captured. Radar altimeter alive. Paris Orly traffic, Alpine 426 uniform, on finals runway 25, 6 miles. Landing gear. Spoilers. Lights are already on. Let's tell the cabin crew to sit down yet again. Flaps 3. Hey, you'll wake up tomorrow and I'll still be going around Orly. I won't, mate. I'll have run out of fuel. There was a reason we brought extra fuel, wasn't there? Although that was for the potential thunderstorms that may have been here. Not for my thrust lever, just shutting the autopilot, the auto thrust off. Flaps full. Approach checklist. Take 2. Cabin secured for landing. Auto thrust speed. Go around altitude 2,000 feet. Set. Landing memo. ECAM. No blue. At least 10 more attempts. I think you're allowed a maximum of 2. I'm just watching for that auto thrust disconnecting. 1,000 feet. Do you know what? I'm just going to put auto brake on low, given the rain. That wind has got up a little bit, but it's okay. It's a headwind. So autopilot 1 and 2 disengaged. Cat 1 single. I have control. Dear God, I hope I've got control. Is it the third one that you have to miss? I know after you've missed the third one, you have to divert, unless you are 100% certain you are going to get in. There's a caveat to that. Why is the runway disappearing? There's that cloud layer coming in. 500. Oh, 500. Approach stable this time. Continue.
300. 200. Minimum. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10. 5.
And spoilers out, reversers on, auto brake low, and decel. There's the runway, crossing, 70 knots, reversers off. Now then, where's the exit?
Ladies and gentlemen, the cabin crew will shortly be leaving their seats to perform safety-related duties. However, we ask that you remain seated until the fasten seatbelt sign has been switched off. Portable electronic devices for messaging, calls, or internet access may now be used. Please make sure that you take all your personal belongings with you, checking in the seat pocket, underneath the seat, and in the overhead lockers. Do take care when opening the lockers in case anything falls out. Smoking is not permitted until you reach a designated smoking area. On behalf of the captain and the crew, it has been our pleasure looking after you today. Our ground crew will help you complete your Easyjet journey. For the latest news, promotions, flight and destination information, check out our official Facebook page, Twitter or Easyjet app.
Oh, right, now I can see what buttons I'm flicking. So let's get the strobe lights off, runway lights, start that APU, and where we're taxiing to, over there. Just got to find the terminal now. Why is there no taxi line on this taxiway? I think that's one thing Azobo really need to look at doing a little bit better, getting those lights in. So guys, if you are on your way out after the flight, if you could do me a massive favour and just hit the like button for me, that would be really, really appreciated. Is that Chewie parked up over there? Oh, we'll go park next to Chewie. It's normally about now that the stream drops out. So Eastbirds, if I were to do a single engine taxi to the gate, would you start APU, switch engines, while taxi? Okay, so it doesn't really matter when you start the APU, you still got generator 1 running. But normally you'd start the APU, you would shut down engine number 1 and pop on the electric pump. And there you go, single engine taxi. Dan, can I talk about the first approach? Yes, certainly can. So, I'll be honest with you, that was probably the least by-the-book go-around you would ever do, and it caught me completely off guard because I didn't expect to lose the auto thrust. So, what we had briefed was that should we need to go around Mr. Approach altitude 2,000 feet, and the correct order of doing things would be toga, go around flaps, so from flaps full that would take us up to flaps 3, followed shortly then by making sure we got a positive rate of climb, gear up, then we would go flaps 2 and pull the speed bug here to 185, as there was a maximum speed of 185 during the first left turn after the go around. Now, because I'd lost the speed, the aircraft wouldn't hold that because auto thrust for some reason wasn't working for a second, which then meant to hold 2,000 feet when I lowered the nose. We started to accelerate. Obviously, attitude goes down, the aircraft accelerates away. At that point, we started getting close to VFE, or the maximum speed for the flap extensions. So I had to start bringing the flaps up. Bringing the flaps up meant obviously the aircraft was going to get faster and faster. And I was also at the same time trying to troubleshoot why I had not got auto thrust working. I couldn't get the thrust levers in the detent to work again, so there was just a lot of things going on. But what I would look to do is, we may do a missed approach. Would you like to see a proper missed approach video at Paris Orly, the one that we should have done had everything been working correctly, as I think that's probably going to be the better way to explain that. So we were fully prepared for the go around, we'd briefed it, but we lost auto thrust, which really didn't help. So now let's just get the parking brakes on. Let's shut down engine number 1. We can get rid of the anti-ice, we don't need those. There we go. So engine number 1 is shutting down now, and seatbelt signs can come off. There they go. There we go. Beacon light can come off as well. Don't need the electric pump anymore. And let's call the jetway over, shall we? 1 second. Here it comes. And baggage, catering, if we want the external power as well. There they are. And our passengers on the second attempt are safely down in Orly. Eastwards, yeah, you're quite right. I think if everything went perfect, then we wouldn't learn anything. I am definitely going to have a quick play with these detents just to make sure that those are working correctly, because that's a strange one. That we did go and set these up, and I'm just going to double check. So we've got the toga, we've got the flex, and we've got the climb. Yeah, so I certainly don't think I knocked those off by mistake. I will certainly revisit the stream, rewind it, and have a look to see what happened. Okay, sir, thank you very, very much for your very kind donation. And Oki says it's time to finish the Saturday evening with a beer. Oh, it's definitely B&B time. But Oki, you're very, very kind, and that is really, really appreciated. So if you could, guys, if hit that like button if you haven't done so already, I would really, really appreciate that. And thanks to everyone watching. We'll be back with another flight tomorrow, I'm sure. And Wayne, yeah, no stream crash. Maybe the Windows reboot has done it. So fingers crossed. Thanks very much, guys. I hope to see you again very, very soon. Good night, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the cockpit once again, we apologise for the slight delay in getting you to your destination, but you are now free to deboard, and we look forward to seeing you